Hello, everyone, and welcome to Horizon Zero Dawn. Not Zero Dawn. Sorry, that's the first game. Horizon Forbidden West. I will say Horizon Zero Dawn probably 15 times because that's the only Horizon game I played. We are examining the Hades orb. Basically there was a light that went up at some point weeks ago, something like that. Anyway, they were trying to find us, and now we came back. We are going to see what this thing is doing. What were you expecting to happen?
She said never could get this out, and she pulled it out.
Ah.
Transmission.
Guys, I released Hades again. No.
Mustn't, you shouldn't.
Yeah. How does that go?
I don't know.
It's like
I haven't seen the fridge.
Couldn't. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's funny how he mocks the Who's for rhyming, and then that's a different.
No, not then. Not ever again.
That's a different part, but like he mocks them for rhyming.
Name that movie in the comments if you know it. We're trying to climb it because. So yeah, she is suspecting of Sylens of doing something. So we need to climb to the top of the tower.
He wouldn't do that. You know, he was very trustworthy with everyone that ever talked with him. Oh, I need to do this.
Jump to that ledge behind me.
He's got a really cool voice. He wouldn't do that. Somebody with a cool voice and like that wouldn't. No, they're good.
Okay.
I'm sure it's just a misunderstanding.
Okay, I was like, where? Oh, no. The little snap-on thing didn't work that time. I was very confident it would, and it decided to.
We're going to have to do a lot of trimming out of Steven's terrible climbing skills.
Antics?
No.
We're okay. Same thing. Okay. So this is not a mechanic. Not that this is a big deal, but this is not a mechanic that was there in the first game. The whole like jumping from this way. No. Can I pick the direction I do that? I guess.
It was teaching you to.
If I do this, she goes directly.
If you just
back
tap, but if you hold to the side, and there you go.
I need to remember to read that because I remember looking at the editing and whatnot, and I was like sitting there like doing something and trying to figure it out, and it was like push X, and I'm like, how do I do this thing? I wasn't like frustrated, but I was just not reading the.
Why you just jump off things?
I pushed A or I pushed X to jump. Like just later than I should have, but she auto went to it, and then she leaped off the edge. Oh my god!
All right, you know what? We're gonna start the whole episode over.
It was like, here.
What are you doing?
Welcome everybody to her. No, we're not doing that because I can't do the cutscene again. That's already done. So anyway, I'll just be up there when we come back.
Now we need to use the pole caster and pull that towards us.
Okay, and then is it this too? Yeah. And remember to hold. Because if I'm just pushing it, which I don't really get, but you can tap it. Oh, that's that. Sorry, you can tap it.
Someone's just gonna out hunting with their child is like, we did it, son, and then just gonna get skewered by an arrow.
Daddy, no. Yeah. Fire. Actually, that's a story in the Bible. I don't remember who the king was or whatnot, but the prophet had that guy like take an arrow and just fire it randomly.
Anyway, talk.
Well, I was talking. Yeah, I'd have to find it.
That's in the Old Testament,
right? It would be in the Old
probably?
Testament. I would have to. What am I doing now?
Now I have to pull cast the thing down,
top from the spire.
Down with pull cast that. Like you can that little pattern. You can
Nope.
You can use pull caster things.
Trying to take out the tower.
Should be able to get up there now.
With
probably your jump X.
Okay.
And then you can climb.
I thought Sylens was helping me when he gave me his lance.
Huh.
It looks like he tricked me.
No, he wouldn't do that.
Did he save Hades? Why would he do that?
And if you tap the little her scan thing, it'll highlight places to climb on.
Yeah. I was gonna say something. Well, cutscene. I'll wait. Sylens is right there. Like he
Yeah.
He's in a desk chair, turns around, he's like,
He's got a cat.
yeah, he's petting a cat. You're like, what?
Well. Like, what?
Access lift activated.
Why would there be a...
Day.
So you can get to the top.
No, but I guess it wouldn't hurt there to be this, to have the reason I'm kind of
Wonder what the Carja will make of this.
not skeptical, but it's like, oh wow, it's changing.
Yeah, the cards are probably gonna freak out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Aloy's a god. It's opening
kidding.
and all that.
No, the reason I'm
Okay, all right. Let's watch because there's gonna be a.
okay.
There's the note. Sword of the Forest. Bastard.
Well, Aloy, I see you finally figured it out. To be honest, I'm surprised it took you so long to discover my ruse.
You rigged the lands to steal Hades. How could you be so reckless?
Reckless. You're the one who tried to purge Hades before its precious knowledge could be extracted. The mysterious signal that woke it, for example. Or why to obtain one of those Gaia backups you've been having such a hard time finding.
If you knew, why didn't you just tell me?
I've been having problems of my own these past 6 months, Aloy. The difference is, I've made progress. So once your anger at my entirely necessary deception has faded, why don't you come out here and find me in the Forbidden West, and learn all that I've discovered?
Oh, I'll come find you, all right.
Yes. Well, the coordinates make it simple enough. Even for you.
Gah! There's no other choice.
I wonder why it would decouple itself or whatever.
Rod know what I found.
I don't know.
However, anyway.
You went inside it, and it transformed. Almost like the day of the battle. I can only be grateful that it's a stormy day. Few will have seen the tower change from Meridian. What did you discover?
Hades. The danger didn't end here. It went into the Forbidden West. And I have to follow.
I see. That can be difficult. The West is called Forbidden for a reason. A tribe of ferocious warriors controls much of it, the Tanakh, and they allow no trespassers past its border. That said, under the Sun King of Ard, a fragile peace has been negotiated, and indeed, the next embassy will take place in a day or two on the edge of the frontier. Were you to attend the gathering under his auspices, the Tanakh might grant right of passage, instead of hunting you and attacking on sight.
Great, just what I need. More killers.
The Sun King.
It's a war horn. Something else is happening.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Aloy, it's good to see you. You left in such haste. We never had a chance to properly thank you.
Can we show the champion the spear now? Please?
Itamin, quiet.
It's true. We bear gifts. Decorum usually calls for a ceremony of offering at the palace, but I thought you would prefer a less formal occasion. Bring them, please.
Avad, this is all very kind, but Who's it? Vanasha.
Quick, better hand them over before she runs off again.
Really? Must you?
Who are they?
I don't remember.
Like, I'm playing the game right now. Like, I do not remember them at all.
Maybe they're at the very, very end.
They'd have to be because I'm pretty far into it. Well, I don't know.
So we got a new spear and a crown or a helmet thing or something, or like a little something.
It's beautiful.
On behalf of all the citizens of the Sundom, may these tokens remind you of our eternal gratitude.
I mean, not that it's a massive deal, but it's like, one, do you think the Sun King has a different voice actor?
No, it's the same guy.
Okay, it just
Perhaps
sounds
you'd
off
like
a
to
little
spend
bit
more
to me,
time
but that
with
just might be,
us.
I haven't played in a while.
Come speak to me when you're ready to depart.
So now we can just kind of talk to our old friends, Uthid and Vashad, who were so instrumental in us
There.
taking Meridian and
Oh, there we go.
something.
I do not remember who you are.
And then we can talk to the Sun King, we can talk to Murad. So we'll kind of talk to everybody, and if it's interesting or important.
Yeah, I'd say if it's interesting enough, we'll keep it in. If not, we'll just summarize what they say.
Uthid, Vanasha, thanks for being here.
Wouldn't miss it, even if you did leave us hanging after the big battle.
Vanasha, stop. She's here now, isn't she?
For the moment. But I see that look on her face. She's got business to attend to, and it isn't in Meridian.
You know, I didn't vanish before because I wanted to. I had...
No, Huntress, please. You don't have to justify yourself to us. You saved our butts. If you've got to go, go. With our blessing.
Always.
All right, see ya. No.
Who are... Okay, Shadow Karja.
Are they part of the Shadow Card?
Maybe. That's one of the parts that I have not... That's
You
like
both look like you're
less
doing well.
in my memory.
Mr. Shiny Pants here is now the Sun King's senior military advisor. That means people actually have to listen to him talk. May the sun bless their sorry souls.
At least I say something of substance every once in a while.
What was that? I just fell asleep while you were talking.
And how about you, Vanasha?
I've been looking after Nasadi and Edaman, 2 parts bodyguard, 1 part...
Bad influence.
Huh. I was gonna say nanny, but I like your version better.
Yeah, they definitely are part of the Shadow... Well, like, were anyway. Let's stay on this
pictured
one.
you as a nanny. Edaman must be special.
Hold on now. I'm not entirely domesticated. Nasadi was the Mad Sun King's wife. She has enemies. I've had to foil a plot or 2.
Right. You can try to hide it, but inside, you're as soft as a silk pillow.
Oh, you have no idea.
Huh? Oh dear.
We were talking about Edaman?
Yeah, okay, I admit it. Edaman's cute. He's fun, and he looks up to me. I like him. Except when he forgets to wash his hands after hooking worms in that muddy garden behind a solarium. Blech.
It's been months since I was in Sunfall. What's become of the Shadow Karja?
After you wiped out the eclipse, there were hardly any priests or officers left to terrorize the little people.
Avad offered amnesty to all who were forced to serve the Shadow, so the commoners cleaned out the citadel and handed it back to him. The Sundom was unified.
Avad wanted Uthid to take command of the garrison there, but Captain Cudley here refused. Rumor has it that he wanted to stay close to me here in Meridian.
That's nonsense, of course.
Who's Itam? I know he's the kid, but like he's not Avad's son.
No. I think he's Avad's brother.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if there was something where his Avad's father had another wife and then or something. I don't know if that's the case, but I think he's his younger brother. There was
Well, I know
an older brother who was killed by the Mad Sun King, then Avad, then Edaman.
Okay.
Always a pleasure. But please, little Huntress, come back someday and tell us about your adventures. If I can't get in trouble, at least I can hear about yours.
Sorry, once we leave, we can't come back to Meridian because it's not on the map. Sorry.
Can't really fast travel there, so...
Sorry.
No, yeah, I do remember it being... I don't know what his name was, but Avad's older brother was sacrificed. Like the person who was going to be the next Sun King, just in the nature of that, was killed by the Mad Sun King as... What is it called? blood sacrifice and whatnot. And then when Avad took power, basically it was like, well, you're no longer my son, so Edaman is the next rightful heir. Something like that. So that's why they took him and his mother to the... something along those lines. Anyway.
I'm sorry, Avad. It's good to see you, but I can't stay long.
I see. I had hoped you'd remain in the city for a time. Perhaps at the palace.
Meridian's still in danger, but it's bigger than that. To put things right, I have to go west. To Nox territory.
By the sun, that's a Noct? Well, perhaps Murad already told you, but after years of hostility, we've negotiated a truce in hopes of a lasting peace. Another embassy will be held in just a day or two.
Let's stay with the embassy.
What makes this coming embassy so special?
Well, just like today, it is special because of the guest. Our delegation will meet with the Tanakh just outside Barren Light. We'll give them treasure, and they'll return a prisoner. Fashav, one of our finest soldiers.
Soldier? Don't you mean raider?
No, not in this case. Fashav is my cousin, nothing like Helis and his ilk. He joined the Western expedition with the hopes of reining in certain excesses. But he was captured during a heroic defense of our forward base at Cinnabar Sands, and has been held ever since.
When you say years of hostility, I assume you mean the Red Raids?
Ah, yes. My favorite subject.
I wouldn't ask if I didn't need to know.
As you know, my father raided all the border tribes. The Asuram, Banuk, and Nora suffered greatly, resisting as best they could. But none fought back like the Tanakh. They rose up and assaulted our western front at Barren Light, sweeping us from their lands. Getting them to talk to us again after that was tricky.
I need to get going.
One moment, Aloy. There's something I must ask you. Since you left, I've thought of little else.
This isn't really the time.
But it has to be. The way you left before, there's no way to know when I'll see you again. I'm not trying to stop you, or hold you back. But I need to know, when your mission is over, will you return to Meridian and stay? Long enough for us to spend time, to get to know each other properly, perhaps.
Punch him in the... No. Whoa. Okay, so just the different things. Different whatever.
Yeah, choose the fist and Aloy will confront the challenge directly. Choose the brain or whatever and she'll think logically, I think. Use her insight to find a clever and less obvious approach. Choose the heart. Aloy will express compassion or give voice to her deepest convictions.
I mean, I'll say this one. I feel like it's the one that's more appropriate.
I do hope to see Meridian again, Avad. And you. But this mission, it's my life. It's all I can think about. I have to stay focused. What happens after? I can't imagine that. I wouldn't know where to begin.
Well, if that place were to end up being Meridian, know that you will always receive a boundless welcome here. Tend to your mission, Aloy. I will hope for your success, and look forward to your return.
I could use like 20,000 metal shards.
Yeah.
just to like...
That would definitely help. Also, your best like spear, bow, armor, you know, that would be good. I like Avad, but I don't see him being a good like fit for Aloy because she's...
Yeah, no, I mean...
He's a king. Like,
well,
she would
it
not
have to be...
like this being in the spotlight all the time.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see... I don't know. He seems like a good person.
And to be fair, I think the logical whatever way to respond was, this is not the time, because it really isn't. Like, even if she had feelings for him, that is not the time for her to be in any way emotional. Like, she needs to get this done, because things will die on the entire planet if she doesn't. It's not like we can move it. No, you can't. Anyway, so let's talk to Nasadi. So this is the Sun King's former wife, I believe, like widow, I guess.
Oh yeah, the Mad King's widow.
Yeah, I don't believe this is Avad's mother, but I could be wrong. I don't know the entire history.
Dowager Queen Nasadi.
Blessed champion. Itamen, what do you say?
My humblest thanks to you, great champion, for delivering my mother and me from Sunfall, and for defending our holy city against the forces of Shadow. Did I say right?
You said it fine, Itamen. And you're welcome.
Champion, will you teach me how to shoot like a real machine hunter?
Itamen.
I have to go on an important mission, Prince.
To save the world?
Something like that. But when I come back, I could give you a few tips. It would be an honor.
We owe you our lives, champion, and we will not forget. May the sun light your way.
Watch out for Thunderjaws, champion.
Yeah, they're very hard to miss. But
Thunderjaws are tough.
I would say the first thing you need is a bow, because you have a sword, or whatever you want to call that.
Yeah, I think he does have a sword, unless it's like a toy sword or something.
Yeah, it very well could be. I would kind of assume it is. I mean, he looks like he's like less than 10.
Yeah, he's like 8 or 9.
To be fair, you can train a child in like, combat, and it's, like modern days, like firearms, like pretty young. Like it's funny, I've seen videos. I'm not going anywhere specific. Where else do I have?
You can just talk to him or look at the statue.
Okay. Like I've seen like 8-year-olds handle firearms better than most adults, because they're taught well. But anyway,
it feels wrong, especially when my job's only half done.
Yeah, see, she does not like attention.
Savior of Meridian. Nothing else will ever go wrong.
Yeah. While she is here.
A complete lie. Yeah, no. Part of that, she has a very
because of how she grew up.
Yeah, but her personality is very.
Yeah.
She's
very
one of those
reserved and independent,
right. Yeah, and so it's not the best view for the sake of a spotlight type.
Yeah.
Or do you want to chat some more with your friends?
I better get going. And if I'm headed west, it sounds like I'll need rite of passage from the Tenakth, as you said. Where exactly is this embassy going to be held?
Past the Daunt, the canyon that marks the western border of the Sundom. You'll find the fortress of Barren Light at its farthest edge. The embassy will take place just beyond its gates. It's a long march, a fortnight on foot.
A couple of days hard riding should get us there.
Actually, it might be better to rest here tonight. Head out in the morning.
Of course. I'll arrange it.
I meant like here, like right here, on this spot. Why? There's no buildings to rest in. I don't care. Of course, to be fair, she sleeps out in the whatever a lot, but still. No, sleeping in a chair is very uncomfortable.
And again, she leaves Varl behind. But I think she would probably say, I'm doing this because I don't want you to get hurt, which I do believe there's a modicum of, there's a lot of truth in that. But I also think she likes being by herself, doing things by herself. I think there's a little bit of that as well in the beginning.
There's definitely some of that. But yeah, I think you're correct that there's at least some of the, if I'm doing this alone, like if I take crazy risks, I'm not asking you to like, hey,
exactly.
And then you die. And I'm like, well, I asked you to do this, or we went on this crazy thing. And I mean, to be fair, you can't accomplish more on a team, but Again, the whole outcast thing really does limit that. If she's going to this emissary thing, like, didn't she need like a letter? I don't know, like something to make it official, like I'm the one who's now...
I think that she's going to this settlement to get that.
Okay. I just thought of this. Riding a metal machine would probably be incredibly uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Lay a couple blankets across that.
Oh, just wait. There's some other machines that you can ride, and you're like, how the heck would that work?
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
Sparks to steel. Never seen anyone use one of those to get around.
Is that how I get to Barren Light?
Yes, I mean usually, but not today. Not yet.
And why is that?
Well, the Daunt. The whole valley. It's infested with machines.
I can handle machines.
Oh, I'm sure you can, but I'm under strict orders not to operate until the whistle down at Chain Scrape sounds the all clear.
Look, I didn't come all this way just to stand around and wait. I'll crank that car down myself if I have to.
Well, but then who would crank it back up? Fine.
Well, I won't really speak too soon, but like, it'd be very sad if he dies.
Though, should anyone ask, it might be best to say you forced me.
Under strict orders not to do this, and then he dies, and we're like, well, like...
I see
Level
smoke,
3.
but not a lot of activity.
Smoke's probably coming from something the machines wrecked. As for the quiet, well, there's a work stoppage in effect because of all the fuss.
What sort of machines are causing the trouble?
I need to see how that works.
Nasty ones, and lots of them. Bristlebacks, they're called. Strangeness is, they're not native to the Daunt.
Well, I feel like it would be fairly easy to go down, but going back up feels like that would be really hard.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way they'd have to set it up, there'd have to be some sort of internal brake to where he has to turn that crank, and it can only go a certain speed, because otherwise this thing would just rush down. And then it would work somewhat in reverse the other way, where it's like a pulley system, where it's a lot easier to turn that than it is to move. It would still take a long time for him to turn and then move up. But yeah, it'd definitely be harder for the machine to go up.
Hear that? That's your answer.
Who is that?
Karja's Sun Priest. Cranked him down yesterday, about an hour before the machine trouble started. He's a very important man, or so he says. That embassy at Barren Light, he's the one supposed to run it.
Great.
If you don't do as I say immediately, the Sun King himself shall hear of your insolence. Thanks to you, I was forced to spend the night shivering in the tent. Exposed to attack, I might have died. Oh, me you refuse to transport, but not this... what? This Nora girl? This savage? Aside, scallywag.
Wadis. That's Aloy.
Studious Wadis.
Aloy, you know, savior of Meridian.
Really? Well, that lessens the insult, I suppose.
I came here for the embassy at Barren Light. Way I hear it, so did you.
Well, not with the valley infested. And so did Ahriman proclaim the Sun Priests most precious and worthy of safekeeping. See? Scripture. I shall head to Barren Light when the captain of the Vanguard tells me the way is clear, and not a moment sooner.
Fine. Captain's a friend of mine, you know? Where is Erend? Wouldn't mind speaking to someone a little more action, a little less scroll.
Wadis.
Studious Wadis.
Studious Wadis sent Aaron and another vanguard out at daybreak to clear the way.
And so at daybreak...
Hey! Down the valley then?
Yeah, said they checked the ruins on the left bank for tracks. Take it from there.
Okay. I hear there's a work stoppage. Any way to upgrade my gear?
I'll bet the smith and chain scrape would let you use his workbench. As for the bristlebacks, you might want to craft some acid arrows. Hitting
As the acid arrows flew, like shh.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll find Aaron. And
He has a he has a proverb for everything.
Where do you think you're going?
What? To the top of the ridge. To wait in safety.
Sorry. Operators under strict orders. No passengers till the whistle blows, right?
That's right. Best start cranking.
Why? Why?
Jorf, would you kindly escort Studious to chain scrape and wait for me there?
You got it.
I will find Erend, and I will help clear a path. But after that, no more excuses. Barren Light. Embassy.
If such be the will of the sun.
I don't know if getting on his bad side is a good idea.
Yeah,
Just be thinking out loud. I'm just like,
I gotta find
you could have let him go up. There's nothing harming them, you know, whatever.
First and upgrade my bow.
I was gonna say something. I don't remember what. What is this?
It's a scroll you can read.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just talking about basically no one's allowed passage to the Forbidden West and vice versa, regardless of anything they've had prior to contract, especially the Oseram, so on and so forth. So yeah, more or less.
Yeah, so the only way to get in there is through the embassy. So we've got to get to chain scrape, and I think there's some like this is kind of like the beginning of the first one. This is like Mother's Heart, where you can do the little quests in Mother's Heart. That's kind of how this is. You can do some quests here, and then you can do the.
Yeah, before it gives you the entire, like, here's the entire map. Go.
Yeah.
It gives you a little bit of, where's that boar? Okay. So actually, does this,
No, it doesn't. I wish it highlighted him. It doesn't, though.
Well, I mean,
no, let it go away. Let it go away, and then scan. See, it doesn't highlight.
Okay, so this does.
I wish it did, though. That would be so nice, so much nicer. Hey, look, those are
grazers, I think.
Something. Or
that's the thing they get used.
Those are fire fanghorns.
Okay, so they're different. Our fanghorns. I'm gonna go ahead and take them out if I can.
I don't think that will kill them. No, it won't. But there are certain things on the back of them that, like, you have to knock off the resources. Otherwise, like, if you kill them, they're destroyed. So I think their horns are valuable. I know that much. There you go.
Sheesh.
Nice.
I mean, I do remember that this is like the beginning, and I have no good equipment. But
and are you playing it on a harder difficulty?
Hard, yeah.
So I just played it on normal.
And that.
I'm not a crazy person.
Gosh, okay, that is crazy. Like, this is really hard to kill them now. There we go. Because they're so fast. Like, you could. I mean, they would be in real life.
I would kill them later after we upgraded our bow and stuff. Like, it's not a. I wouldn't. You know,
but I'm
hurry
just saying,
stock
like,
up on
because
boars.
you could run. You could. What would you call it? You could beat them. You know, run up to them.
Those are good.
Green shine sliver.
Those are good for upgrades.
It's green like blaze, but it's hard and shiny. Wonder if merchants would be interested.
You have found a piece of green shine, a rare and valuable source hidden all over the world. Green shine can be used for upgrading certain weapons, outfitting, or trading with specific merchants. Okay. No, I was to say the boars were slow enough that you could, like, basically run up to them, and if you
you could just hit them,
stay with them, and then just whack them with your spear. Like, they're way faster. Yeah. Okay. So everyone's dead, which is a good sign.
Maybe.
So all I had to say, it's like, yeah, they're way faster than they were.
Must be chain scrape.
Outlander approaching. Is that the savior?
Open the gate! Yeah.
I remember I have that, but it wasn't doing that well against the Slitherfang, whatever it's called.
Welcome to Chainscrape, Savior.
Open up, guys. Jorf's orders.
Good enough for me.
The guy on the right looks like the Sun Priest's brother.
Yeah.
Like he has a similar face or whatever.
By the forge. Petra? Aloy, what are you doing here? About time there was something worth looking at in this dump.
It's nice to see you too.
And not a moment too soon. Come on. Damn brewery's the only thing I can count on in this place.
Yeah, I heard. Machines, work stoppage.
Oh, those are just the latest malfunctions. Chain Scrape's always been a few tools short of a kit. And right there is the biggest tool of all.
Our land, not our problem. The bristlebacks are everybody's problem.
Roland?
You've heard of him.
Yeah.
But he's a story best told over a cold beer.
Petra. I'm just passing through. I'm headed west.
Oh.
There's an embassy at Barren Light I need to make happen, and then I keep moving.
Ah, of course. Bigger gears to grind. Well, Flamehair, good to see you. Gotta move on.
Petra.
But if you want a cold beer and a few laughs with an old friend, come find me at the brewery. Your choice.
I don't remember who Petra is either.
Yeah, I'm thinking, if I'm remembering correctly, there is one Oseram.
Sounds like trouble. Maybe Petra could use some support. But first things first, I need to find that workbench and upgrade my bow.
I think there was an Oseram in the the Frozen Wilds that helped you. That might be her.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember the Frozen Wilds really at all.
Okay, so I've upgraded a little bit of my weapons. Bow twice, this once, and I got my acid arrows. And ammo that deals acid damage is now available in your inventory. Use your focus to scan enemies and see if they are weak to acid. Hitting enemies with acid will build up to the corroding state. Once in this state, and enemies, I don't think I have that on there. Enemies' armor takes damage over time and has reduced damage resistance. Shooting acid canisters with acid arrows to detonate them and trigger a large elemental explosion. Similar to the other type of stuff, okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
This should be useful.
I don't want that one, I want my normal arrows.
Now I just need to find Erend and help him clear the bristlebacks.
All right, let's see if we can find Erend.
Yeah.
Or if you want to talk to...
Yeah.
Get some...
not save? It's like red.
Quests.
The fire thing's red. I didn't think I could...
No, you can save. Sometimes it you can...
Yeah. So yeah, just checking the map here. I have 3... I'm going to go ahead and grab all of these, and then we can kind of figure out what we're going to do. This is probably Petra. She works in the brewery, and this looks like a brewery. Or whatever. Maybe not. Who are you? Talk to Mildef.
Hey, Mildef. I took some of your stew last time I went into the wilds. Kept me going for a week. Felt like I could have put a strider in a sleeper hole.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Sounds like you're serving up some impressive provisions here.
Why are you behind the...
Not again. You can have the discount too, but you'll have to come back later.
I think you have me confused with someone else.
Oven didn't send you?
No.
Oh, my apologies. It's just that his minions won't stop pestering me. Now I've even worn out my special brew. Since I'm in the midst of a crisis, perhaps you could skip to what it is you wanted?
Some of your food?
Of course.
Are Ulvin's people causing you problems?
Oh, yeah. They constantly demand my best, but the equipment I need to make my signature dishes isn't built for batch cooking. And don't get me started on the Ulvin discount they feel so entitled to.
And if you refuse?
I make meals, not trouble.
Your last customer mentioned your cooking really kept him going out in the wild. Where I'm headed, I could use some of that.
I would be happy to oblige, especially since you have the decency to ask pleasantly. But my special groove griddle is no more. Without it, I can't cook any of my signature dishes. I hate to think what'll happen when I'm forced to refuse Ulvin or his goons. Even if I already had the right ingredients, there's nothing I can do. Unless you can source me a temporary replacement?
What do you need?
For the ingredients, a few pieces of decent wild meat, and I'd say a big handful of bitter leaf stems. That'll do. As for the griddle, a corrugated metal panel might suffice until I can have a new one forged. You'd likely find one in a scrounger pile if you follow the river to the northeast. Don't worry, I'll clean it first. You'll have no issue finding boars and bitter leaf on your way. Assuming you're as much a hunter-gatherer as your clothing suggests.
Thanks, Mildif. I'll keep an eye out.
So that's what gratitude sounds like.
And don't let anyone push you around, okay?
If you say so.
She walks into him, pushes him around, and says, "Don't let anyone push you around." Like,
yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, you come.
So that was just like a gathering quest.
Which is good, because he makes meals, and the meals are pretty powerful. They've got some really powerful effects, so I mean, you don't have to do them on camera, depending, guys, on, you know, we might do some of the side quests on camera or not, but some of them can just be like behind the scenes, because it's just like, oh, this one was kind of boring.
Okay, Uvalde or Olviewed?
Olvend.
Yeah, Olvend.
Some kind of payment.
My dear magistrate, you think I can be bought? If you want that whistle blown, all you have to do is have your soldiers remove the bristlebacks and sign the concession decree. Face it, what other choice do you have?
Hi.
Savior, what auspicious timing. Might we discuss a matter of importance to the Sundom?
We might. Later.
Very well. I shall be waiting.
So, the savior herself. Walloper of Derval, gutter of youth.
Maybe.
I've heard many tales of your beauty and heroics, my fierce lady warrior. Olfent Freeholder, at your service. So, what could have dragged you away from the fine silks and wine of Meridian to this smudge of a settlement? Your saviorly attention must be needed elsewhere.
I'm here for the embassy and...
The embassy? Why, by the forge. Ah. Greater gears for greater matters. Guess that means you'll be moving on.
Once I've dealt with any problems around here that need my saviorly attention.
Ah, the bristlebacks, of course. Got to get rid of them if you want that embassy to take place. Well, let's get to it, hey? And off you go.
Not so fast.
Work stoppage or you and the Karja? You and the Karja.
You don't seem to have a high opinion of the magistrate?
Well, I refuse to play nice to some fancy-robed parchment pusher when my fellow laborers are being bullied, intimidated, and taken advantage of.
How noble of you.
Noble? Ha! Born with a hammer in hand, I was. Nobody handed me anything or dropped opportunity into my lap.
Your mother never fed you.
Everything
I know, really.
I've achieved, I've done on my own.
And where is this hammer now?
The burden of leadership forced me to set it aside. The Karja risk nothing, while demanding that good Oseram gamble with their lives out there. Someone had to step up and say no more.
I don't know the whole story, but he may have a point in certain ways, because you don't want to just exploit a people, you know, whatever. But he's like, I am a self-made man. That's not a thing. There's never been one. Not to say you can't do a lot of stuff on your own, but there's a lot that people gave you as you grew up. Anyway, it's not the point. Work stoppage.
You ordered the work stoppage?
Indeed I did. We're laborers, not soldiers. Until the Karja clean up their mess and give us the fair deal we deserve, I'm not risking Oseram lives.
Fair deal? You mean your concession decree?
It's not my decree. It's on behalf of all the good Oseram laborers of this land who do all the back-breaking work, while only the Karja reap the rewards. All we're asking for is the ability to share in
Yeah,
this
she's over there.
for a land worked by the people, for the people.
This guy's a character.
And just how much would be your share?
Only an amount appropriate to my contributions to this community, of course.
Who appointed
if
you?
Chainscrape is on Karja
Yeah.
land, shouldn't a Karja be in charge? Who appointed you?
The sensibilities of good Osram folk, of course. You think a Karja can head this whole venture? Ah! The magistrate can barely make the trek from Barren Light without losing a few screws.
So you have no real authority then? People only follow you because you say so. Loudly.
Anyone who has followers has authority. I've been with Chainscrape from the beginning. I mean, I'm practically its founder, and its honest folk know I'm indispensable to its success.
You said you founded Chainscrape. Somehow I doubt that.
Practically founded, I said. I alone saw its potential when it was just a smattering of tents in Barren Light's shadow. I invested in the mine, convinced some friends back home to do the same, and here we are. You could say Chainscrape is what it is thanks to me.
Oh, so you're not just standing around and profiting off everyone else?
Not at all. Sure, I make a little return on my investment here and there, but my main priority, as it was from the beginning, is to look after the well-being of these honest, working Osram.
Where's the whistle?
Right in the middle of town, but with the threat out there, I'm not endangering innocent Osram lives.
I'm going to clear out the bristlebacks. And when I'm done, this valley is going to get moving.
If that's what it takes. Until then, I'll keep looking after the safety of these good folk.
Just be ready to blow the whistle.
I feel like what he's saying is more or less accurate, and a lot of it's correct, but there could be a lot of it that he's exploiting the situation to take, whatever. That happens way too much in political type situations.
Sounds like such a great guy. All right, guys, thank you for watching. In the next episode, we will continue exploring Chainscrape and doing some side quests around here. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see everybody in the next episode.